Hello and welcome. This is a little impromptu. I'm just quickly recording this on the phone because I've been a little off lately, backed up on editing videos, and a couple of shows long overdue. I do have one that is recorded and should be edited and up, but it's not yet. The next couple of weeks are going to be incredibly busy, so I felt like I needed to sit down and record something and put it up. So I'm just doing that right away on the phone, and hopefully this is framed all right. I can't actually see what's recording right now, but I'm just going to record. Not going to edit it too much, and just share some things. Recently, I've been contemplating a lot on what I'm doing, and what my business primarily is Coffee Lovers Magazine. So it's publishing the magazine, of course. When I started it off, I was really getting into the depths of coffee for the first time, and I was discovering a lot of things that I wouldn't otherwise have found out. And I really felt like that a lot of that was something that should be shared, that people should know, that people who really love coffee should know how to appreciate it as much as possible, and to know the people who are involved and everything. And so that's primarily why I started the magazine. And I think maybe it's easy to look at something like that and think, what more is there to know about coffee? And I've made a conscious effort to not make the magazine about information, because information is free and it's everywhere. And if all you want to know is how to brew a good cup of coffee, like I can show you that. I can show you that in a video. I've done that in videos on here. In fact, I've got this whole new series, Becoming a Coffee Connoisseur, which is going through stuff like that. And if that's all you're interested in, even when I do share that kind of thing in the magazine, once you learn, and that's all you're interested in, then it's over. But to me, it's so much more than that. And I think from a business perspective, I may have made a strategical error in that I made something that I believe should be known, because I believe that coffee is much more than just the coffee. Like, appreciating it is much more than just enjoying a really good cup of coffee. And you can't really truly appreciate the coffee and enjoy everything about it if you don't connect with this whole other part of coffee, which is the community and the people. That's like half of the same coin. And so that's why when you look at issues like the current issue, coffee origins, and lately I've been really obsessed with Yemen. The reason for that is that the origins of coffee are just so incredibly fascinating to me, and I find it particularly interesting. You've probably heard the legends of coffee, the story of the goat and everything. Goat herder found his goats going crazy over the cherries, and boom, coffee was born. And if you read up on the origins of coffee and the history of it, it'll tell you about how it was discovered in Ethiopia, and then it went through Yemen and the Middle East, and then got spread all over the world. But most of the history kind of glosses over the sort of the Yemen aspect of it, and that part and why it started there is really interesting to me. And that's something that, of course, I talk about in that issue. And you'll also see other issues in the magazine where I'm talking about different people doing amazing things. I'll also share experiences, and I do get into the brews. Like, I'm just pulling up an issue here. When I've been kind of obsessed with the Kalita wave, so of course I did an issue on the Kalita wave, and you may have seen that issue come up. But all of these things make an entire picture, and to me, it's about connecting people and communities and helping you understand and see what coffee is really all about. So, like I said, when I started, I may have made like a strategic business error, because usually when you start a business, you look for the things that people are actually looking for, and then you provide those things to them. And I think that this part of coffee is something that, at least I believe, it's something that people are looking for but don't know that they're looking for it until they find it. And that kind of makes it an extra bit of a challenge. I may also be putting a lot of my own desires and interests into that, because this is just something that really fascinates me. And I know that there are people, like many of you, who are watching this or read the magazine and you really enjoy it. So obviously there are many of you out there who connect with this. But I guess I'm kind of rambling on this subject because maybe I need to do a better job of explaining and showing the world what the magazine means to me and what I think it would mean to you. Maybe that's something I really need to do. Because I've kind of built this whole business on the idea that there are so many people out there doing amazing things in coffee, and all that's kind of missing is not necessarily missing, but all that really needs to be there is someone sharing all of the amazing stories. And specialty coffee is so big and it's growing so fast that you can, of course, you can go, if you're fortunate enough to be in a good area for that, you can go and find a local coffee roaster and you can connect with the local industry and really get into it. But even doing that, there's so many people doing so many good things. I believe that the good parts of life are about connection and understanding who and what you're connected with and why, and then making conscious decisions based on that. And because of that, I think it's important that there is something out there which makes an effort to find the good stories, find the good people, and connect them and share them with you. So that's kind of my mission, if you will. But before I leave, just since we're talking about the issue, the current issue, like I said, I've got a really old iPad, it's being slow. The current issue, like I said, is the coffee origins issue. I also have, and this has been a series that's been going on for some time, an excerpt from an unpublished book written by Stephen P. Unger. He's been exploring coffee cultures all around the world, and he's been sharing with me segments of his book, and I've been sharing with you the Ethiopia segment. He went to Ethiopia and traveled all over the country and shared different parts of the Ethiopian culture, and we've been kind of going through that and showing you what you might otherwise not experience. But this issue is the current issue. As I publish this, I'm actually putting together the next issue that I'll publish very, very soon. If you want to check out this issue, if you subscribe right now, you'll end up getting them both during the first month, even possibly during the free trial, depending on if you go to the app, there's a free trial. If you go to the website, you can get a free month of the magazine. So check that out. I'll link below the video so you can have a look. But that's the magazine. I would love it if you read the magazine and you enjoy the magazine. I'd love to hear from you below. If you don't read the magazine, let me know if does it sound like something that interests you? Does it sound like something that doesn't interest you? I know it's not the kind of thing that's for everyone, but I think that I want to say that no matter what your interest is in coffee, learning and connecting with these people and these stories is only going to improve your experience. I know that to be an absolute fact. Anyways, so that's been a little bit of an impromptu cup of joe. I did write a few notes down, but I really just wanted to get on here and talk because I am so behind on that sort of thing. Check out the Coffee Connoisseur Series #1. There's a playlist for it. I'll link to that below as well. Let me know what you think about that. I have, of course, the first series is done. I'm working on the second series, going to record that very soon. I have at least 3 more planned out that are going deeper and deeper into coffee as we go along. It's kind of designed to start from nothing. So if you're just getting into brewing your own coffee, that's kind of where we begin, and then we get progressively more into it. So by the time you go through the series, I think ideally you'll know as much about coffee as I do. So that should be fun. Anyways, thank you for watching. It's been Cup of Joe. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.